So do you also want to create real estate listings? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use AI agent for effortless real estate listing creation with Pabbly. So like you, I also used to manually create all the real estate listings, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the property details into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to create me the real estate listing, which we can further add back again into our Google Docs and our into Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs, and then again Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video I'll show you how to use an AI integrated with Pabbly Connect to automatically create real estate listings from raw property data. So whether you're uploading details from a form, spreadsheet, or email, this automation writes clean, engaging descriptions complete with highlights and callouts, ready to publish on your website or send it to your clients. So let's dive in and streamline your property marketing with the help of an AI and Pabbly Connect. So to get started, I'm just going to first show you the proper working of this amazing automation. So for that, I'm just going to enter the property title, the location, the type, the price, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the area, the key features, and the target audience. And once I'm just going to enter all of these details, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the property listing and add it right over here. So we just have to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is going to use all of these details and generate me the document. And over here you can see that it has successfully generated one. So I'm just going to open this right from here, and as you can see that it has successfully generated me the description, that too in seconds and in real time without any manual efforts. So yes, this is the powerful automation which we're just going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own real estate agency, then this video is definitely for you and you have to watch it till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are just going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to get started with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So you can also create a new folder by going towards this create new folder button. I've already created one, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as AI agent for effortless real estate listing creation with Pabbly. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. So over here, trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are just going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL, and then we're just going to follow this help text, and I'm just going to open my Google Sheets. And after opening this Google Sheets, we are simply going to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in the spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm just going to look for Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here, and as you can see that I have already installed this extension. But if you haven't installed this, you're definitely going to get the option of install right over here. You can simply install this extension right from here, and once you're just going to install this extension, you have to refresh the spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet, otherwise you'll not be able to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, we simply have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. Alright, so now for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is I. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which of the data is added. The whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. Alright, so over here for me the trigger column is I, but for you it will be according to your own spreadsheet. Alright, if you want to send 3 details, it will be C. If you want to send 4 details, it will be D, and so on. And now I'm just going to click on this submit after entering this webhook URL and the trigger column, and now it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here we are simply going to switch on this button which is send on event. And once I'm just going to switch on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event occurs on the spreadsheet, automatically the workflow is going to get triggered. So now after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. So I'm simply going to enter the property title, the location, the type, the price, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the areas. Over here I'm just going to enter the key features and the target audience. And after entering all of these details, I'm just going to complete this test submission, and now I'm just going to open my workflow, and as you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for this test submission. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, which is Google Sheets. And now whenever I'm just going to add the property details right over here in the spreadsheet, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered. Now what I want is I want to create an AI agent for effortless real estate listing creation. So I'm just going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to look for OpenAI and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And now we are just going to click on this create new secret key button. I'm just going to enter my key name. I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And now my key has been created. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're just going to paste this key right over here in my workflow and click on this save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me for the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And now you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and I'm just going to fill in the details in this prompt. But we are not going to fill in the details by copy pasting it or entering it manually, but instead we are just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the property title, then the location, then the type. So one by one, I'm just going to to map all of these details, and then further my AI agent is going to use these details only in order to generate a property listing. So as you can see, like I'm doing, you also have to do the same one by one. You have to search for all of these details and map these details right over here, and these are the same details which you're going to enter in our spreadsheet. So yes, like I did, one by one you also have to map all of these details. And now after mapping all of these details, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request using these details only, my AI agent is going to generate me the listing, which we are further going to add in a Google document and then back again into our spreadsheet. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is going to generate me the listing. And over here you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the property listing. Over here you can see whole description of the same. And now I'm just going to add this into a Google Doc. For that I'm just going to add another action step. Now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs. For the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. Once again, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now I'm just going to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Docs. Now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions, so I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now first I'm just going to create a blank document, and in order to create a blank document, what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to give the document a name. So what name I'm just going to give it? I'm just going to give the property title, and then in the end I'm just going to mention listing. Alright, so I've kept this property title as dynamic but listing as static. Now after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, automatically a blank document will be created. And now I'm just going to add the AI generated text in this blank document. For that, I'm just going to select my action application as Google Docs. For the action event, I'm simply going to select it as append a paragraph to a document and click on this connect. Now it is asking me for the same, so I've recently connected my Google Docs. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. For the document, I'm not going to select it as manually, but instead we're just going to map it. For that, we are simply going to switch on this mapping button and map the document ID. Alright, so I'm simply going to erase this document ID and map it. And to map the document ID, I'm simply going to look for document ID in the response of my previous step right over here. So over here you can see the same, so I'm simply going to map it. And once I'm just going to map this document ID, this field has turned dynamic. And now I'm just going to add the text which my AI agent generated, which is property listing. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this into the blank document. And now I'm just going to add this Google Doc link into my spreadsheet. For that, I'm just going to first make this document a shareable one. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step, select the action application as Google Drive. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a file with anyone. So to make this document a shareable one, I'm just going to use Google Drive. I'm just going to simply select the action event and click on this connect. I've recently connected my Google Drive account, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. If you haven't, you have to go towards this add a new connection, sign in with Google, give Pabbly all the permissions, and your Google Drive account will be connected. I'm just going to simply click on this select existing connection and then save right over here. And once I'm just going to click on this save, my Google Drive account will be connected with my Pabbly Connect's workflow. Once again, I'm simply going to map this file ID. I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map the document ID. And after mapping this, I'm simply going to click on this blue button once again which says save and send test request. Alright, so I'm just going to click on this button, and once I'm just going to click on this button, we have received the positive response that we have successfully made this document a shareable one, and we have successfully received the web view link which we are just going to map in our Google Sheets. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, select the action application as Google Sheets. For the action event, I'm simply going to select it as update cell value and click on this connect. Recently, I've connected my Google Sheets, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And now I'm just going to select the spreadsheet which is property listing sheet. Now I'm just going to select the sheet which is sheet 1. Now it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated here. So as you can see, the sheet range which needs to be updated is J4. So I'm simply going to enter this same which is J4. But we are not going to enter it manually because right now it is J4, but with every new response it is going to change. It will be J5, 6, 7 and so on. But you can notice that this J is constant, only the row is changing. So I'm just going to keep J as static, but we are simply going to map the row index because the row is changing. And I'm just going to map the value, which is the web view link. So I'm simply going to map this web view link and click on the save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, we have received the response that we have successfully updated the cell value. And yes, over here you can see that the Google Doc link has been added right over here. And this is the same listing which my AI agent generated. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now, like I showed you in the starting of this video, whenever I'm just going to add the property details into the spreadsheet, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered, and further AI agent is going to generate the listing, and that listing will be added back again into my Google Sheets. We don't have to come back in again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend. Now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.